Hi, my name is Pauline Young.
And my name is Avril.
We are from FPAM Financial Planning Association Malaysia, Johor chapter.
Pauline, according to the paper released by the Khazanah Research Institute, the pandemic recently has affected Malaysia's youth directly through the rise in unemployment and wage gap. This situation is even more dire for those who had to endure wage cuts and retrenchments due to the pandemic. So therefore, I feel that we should give some advice to millennials, because it's important for millennials to understand and focus on building their financial resilience when it comes to planning how to save and spend their money. Let's take a look at 6 of the most important rules to get our finances on the best possible track.
Yeah, that's right, Avril. And I think the number rule is that you need to understand your expenses, because the main reason you should keep track of your expenses is to identify and to eliminate wasteful spending habits in your financial life. Moreover, consistently tracking your expenses will help you maintain control of your finances and promote better financial planning habits like savings and investing.
That's true, that's true. Secondly, we should look into setting a budget. So sometimes we tend to overlook setting a budget for our expenses, because setting a budget is the most important step in creating a great financial plan. This will allow us to understand our income and our expenses. It will help us make smarter spending decisions and better cost control. Like what John C. Maxwell says, everyone wants to be thin, but nobody wants to diet. Everybody wants to live long, but few will exercise. Everybody wants to make money, yet seldom anyone will budget and control their spending. So setting a budget will help us to set our financial goals and fund those goals accordingly.
Yeah, that's right. And also, besides setting the budget, I think that setting personal financial goals is also very important. Goal setting is a way for you to understand where you want to reach in a given period of time, and it will encourage you to make the best use of the resources and also the finances available with you. And your personal goals could be anything from buying a car, buying a house, or even traveling overseas. So first thing first, understand and identify your goals before you can start with your financial planning. So the best way is to segment your goals according to short-term, medium-term, or long-term. And for example, buying a car is a short-term goal, and then which is about within 2 years, and then buying a house, which is a longer-term goal, which is more than 5 years. So just set the priority for the goal setting, and then that may help us to understand our finances better.
That's right. So another tip that we can share with you is that we need to also pay ourselves first. So how to pay ourselves first? We need to save money. So saving money involving saving every ringgit. It could be giving up buying a can of soda to save that 20 ringgit. It's important to keep track of how much we spend so that we can create a plan to save. Millennial spending habits like buying expensive coffee and like even the bubble tea and many other things grab the attention of financial planners. Recently I heard some of my millennial friends were spending about 20 to 30 ringgit on a meal alone. So we can save tons of money if we adopt the right financial planning way. So one of the many ways we can start saving is by creating a budget. This will push us to save that designated amount every month.
Yeah, to continue on that savings, actually we can set up an emergency fund. So this will be our 5th rules for financial planning tips. So emergency fund is very, very important, and by setting a particular amount from your income aside for emergency purpose, it will be great help when something unprecedented come up. So you can invest your money as an emergency fund, but you should be able to withdraw it during the period of emergency.
So, Pauline, what are the steps to create an emergency fund?
Actually, there are 3 steps. So, number 1, you need to decide what you need, how much you need. So, for example, you need 100K. And then number 2 is that you need to open a separate account. So, it could be a bank account or it could be a unit trust account. And then number 3 will be decide the amount that you need to invest on a monthly basis. So there's also another great way to create an emergency fund is actually to invest in a unit trust. It's called the regular savings plan. So it is a better option than investing in a savings bank account. Here is the reason why regular savings plan is very good. Number one is that you can avoid emotional investing. So You do not need to time the market, entry and exit of the market, and then you just invest a fixed amount on a regular basis. And over the long run, you can actually see that you can smooth out your entry costs, and your fund can perform consistently well over the long run.
Sounds good, Pauline. So the sixth tip is avoid too much debts. So debts are one of the most common ways people end up in bankruptcy. They spend more than they earn, and they end up taking loans, debts, and overusing their credit cards. Unpaid debts can prove fatal to anyone's financial standing. So therefore, we should avoid having too much debts.
So Avril, so what are the ways that we can avoid debts?
Okay, firstly, don't spend more than you earn. And how to not spend more than you earn? Avoid using your credit card unless it's absolutely necessary. But avoid impulse spending. You know, sometimes when you see the sales like, wow, 50% off, 70% off, then you get impulse spending. So you have to control that.
Yep.
Fourth, compare prices before making purchases, because who knows, you may get a good deal somewhere else. And five, pay with cash whenever possible.
So in conclusion, financial planning is the first step to increase your wealth. So therefore, if you are in your 20s, starting out with your career, make sure you plan your finances well before jumping anywhere further. So before we end the session, we have also interviewed Malaysian financial planning, and here are their advices.
One of the advice for a millennial is to force themselves to save. Okay, because saving habit is not easy to build, because as a human we tend to spend the money, want to enjoy ourselves, take care of ourselves, make ourselves happy. Okay, so it's not easy to save money. But if you do not save money, chances are forever we do not develop saving habit. So that's why I say force yourself to save. Okay, even though 1 month, you may be able to save 50 ringgit per month. Okay, don't need to aim for 500 ringgit if it's too difficult for you. Aim for 50 ringgit for a start. Okay, the moment you are able to save 50 ringgit for 1 year, for 2 years, you have gone into a category in this society what we call savers group.
Knowledge about finance, investing especially, be it property, gold, precious metal, or now crypto for the matter, and stocks. You have to have diversified portfolio. So there's been it's a journey. We must not fear of failure rather than fear of not learning. Always don't rely on returns which is guaranteed or issued by somebody else. I prefer to learn, and with the technology, there's abundant opportunity for us to seek opportunities. So once we have the liquidity, then knowledge will improve our fear on financial management.